What's good, y'all? It's the Demouchets REACT, and we're back with another video. Who we got today, C?
Today we're back with another American reaction. So excited about this video. If you're new to us
and we're new to you,
make sure you scroll down,
hit that subscribe button,
and turn on the post notification bell
because we're on the road to 200K.
And we cannot get there without you guys, alright? Join the family. Without further ado, let's get into the video.
Let's get it.
You're an American currently living abroad. What is one time that made you realize that America really messed you up?
I have so many of these. So I currently live in London with my now husband, and when we were dating and I would come visit him because we were doing the whole long distance thing, you know, every time I would come, I would lose at least 5 pounds. Without a doubt, it happened every single time. And I truly think it's just because the food over here is required to be better for you. Because I was not watching what I ate. We would eat desserts all the time. We were doing the touristy things, so we eat out a lot. And on top of that, I don't exercise when I'm over here, and I also am not walking around because I use my wheelchair. So yeah, it's literally just because there's better food laws here in the United Kingdom instead.
Better food laws. You could definitely put it like that. As well says that we have a lot of stuff that we put in our food, especially when it's, you know, to push the expiration date further out. So our food has a lot of jam-packed ingredients in it already that don't need it to be in there, and it's, you know, impacting our body. So, but I hear that a lot. People leave the country and they definitely can eat like they want and not have to worry about feeling bloated, you know, feeling over sluggish, all that stuff, you know. And
that's not just in Europe, because y'all know we react to a lot of different country content on this channel, and even people in dang it, I forgot exactly where, but other people have told us the same too in other countries.
In the United States. So there you go. That's my story.
So we live in Ireland, and our oldest is in senior infants, which is the equivalent of the second half of kindergarten. She did kindergarten back in the States. And she came home from school one day and she said, "Mommy, we had a drill today." And I go, "Oh, active shooter drill?" "No." "Bumper?" "No." "Mommy, it was a fire drill."
Something simple.
Well, oh, okay. I mean, back home, she had active shooter drills every month in kindergarten. We get these phone calls and it'd say, "Oh, in accordance with Florida law, blah, 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 everything's gone back to normal." And I'm just sitting there thinking of my kid hiding in a bathroom with 30 other kindergartners and her poor teacher trying to keep all these kids quiet. I'm like, that's not normal here. That's something we got used to because that's what America is. It's just one big active shooter drill.
Hey y'all, I am an American expat currently living in Kuwait. It is one of the countries in the Middle East region. Living here, I had to overcome a lot of trauma from my home country. As you can see, I am black. And being black in America, you're usually followed around stores to make sure you're not stealing. No one offers you help. No one offers you guidance. They just try to make sure you're not stealing because clearly that's what all black people do. Here, people follow you around the stores. However, it's because of the luxury of it all. I mean, they're following you around the stores holding your carts. They're placing things on the shelf. They're helping you get items. They're helping you try on things. And that was one of the traumas I had to overcome living here, that they don't think I'm a criminal. They just want me to be an actual customer.
Okay. Oh, I got this one. So I was in Tallinn, Estonia, and I had like this really bad feeling in my chest. I felt terrible, and I thought I was having a panic attack, but I wasn't totally sure. So I went downstairs to the front desk. The hospital called an ambulance. The ambulance came. They did a bunch of tests, gave me some medicine, calmed me down, and did a whole bunch of stuff. It was all done in the ambulance, and then we were done. They gave me some medicine to go, and they were like, "Okay, go rest." And then I was like, "Okay, but what do I owe you? Like, I live in Finland. What do I owe you?" And they were like, "What do you mean?" And I was like, "Oh, how do I pay for this?" And they were like, "Oh no, this is free." And I was like, "What?" And they were like, "Yeah, no, this is free. Don't worry." And then I felt really guilty for everything.
9 months before I moved to Ireland, I was there on a vacation, and the person I was with, we had a car. And we stayed at a golf resort kind of in the middle of nowhere because it was the off season, so it was actually really affordable. There was a gated front entrance to this golf resort, and there was a small little village on the other side of it. And because we were pretty far back on the property, and it was January, so the weather was kind of crappy, we often would drive if we needed to run to the store for anything or to a restaurant. We became friends with the front gate attendant because we were in and out all the time. So one day we're driving to go to dinner, and I had asked him, hey, what's the legal limit for like drinking and driving here? I wasn't planning to do anything stupid, but I'm also a public health major, and knowing that Ireland is known for its drinking culture, I was curious, so I thought I'd ask. The guy looked at me completely dumbfounded. He's like, what? So I clarified the amount of alcohol you can have in your system and still legally drive. And he says, none?
Yo.
So my mother was a registered...
So being able to hold your liquor while driving is just a different talent, but still scary.
Or maybe it's against the law for them to do it at all.
Well, didn't she say it's no percentage? Like, however much you take,
yeah.
is just how much you take.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, I don't know. Y'all have to clarify that one.
Yeah, because that buzz fuzz and you get all dizzy and then you can't, the lines start crossing. I don't know. Y'all just hold y'all stuff.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, maybe they just know to not drive.
They're responsible.
Yeah, that's what I was taking it as.
Yeah, responsible.
I'm not saying that's correct. But, yeah.
Nurse, she was working at 2 separate hospitals. Both of those positions were full-time. She was diagnosed with stage 4 breast cancer. She had 3 children and had to work those 2 full-time jobs for several years because she needed the health benefits.
Wow.
Because she couldn't afford her chemotherapy. So while she was going through chemo, radiation, all kinds of other treatments, because her cancer was pretty advanced and there were still some clinical trials for things. So while she was going through all of that, she still had to work about 72 hours each week. We moved to Canada shortly after she passed away, and after my father was left with over $50,000 of medical bills, and moved to Canada. Everything's free. Healthcare, just free. They just give it to you to live.
Okay, so I live in England now, but I do this thing where every time I enter a building, I analyze okay, if someone comes in with a gun, where can I hide? Where can I run? What are my emergency exits? What are my chances of getting shot? So I think, okay, if he enters through this door, I'm probably going to get shot. If he enters through that door, I probably won't get shot because of the angle, and I try to work it out all in my head. And so one time I was on a date with this guy and we were at a bar, and I was kind of looking around okay, maybe I can hide here, maybe I can hide here, just kind of analyzing the area. And he's like, why are you looking around? You look crazy. You're drawing attention to us. What the hell's wrong with you, kinda? And I was gonna say, oh, I'm just looking for an emergency exit or place to hide in case someone comes in with a gun. And then I realized gun crime isn't really a thing here. So yeah.
Oh my gosh, such a great question.
No, we don't do that obnoxiously like that. It's just kind of ingrained in us. We know we've been doing it for
scope the scene
since we was children, so we know where to sit.
The only thing I feel like that we're having trouble finding most of the times is where the bathroom at.
The restroom.
The exits and all is cool, but the bathrooms where the bathroom at?
Yeah.
That's the first thing I probably ask the waiter anyway.
Yeah.
Because we got kids on top of that.
And we are thinking about it's a whole calculation. You can't just sit us anywhere. We got to know where the restrooms are and the exits.
Yeah.
How far we'll be able... Trauma.
Not vocally though.
Yeah, not vocally.
I think it's just more ingrained in us to just know what to do.
Yeah, we know where we want to sit at. We're not sitting by the door.
Then they tell you where to sit at when you walk in to go eat, but we be like, how about, is that spot over there available? So
over there.
That's how you do that.
I have so many. The one that sticks out in my mind right now is the first time I celebrated the 4th of July, and the Kiwis were like, oh, happy 4th of July. And I'm like, yeah, suckers. We broke away from the Queen a long time ago, and we have freedom and blah, blah, blah. And they were like, hold on. What freedoms don't we have? And why is it bad that other countries work together to protect each other and help each other? And America's always talking about freedom, and what freedoms do you have that we don't have? And I was like, hold up. All this rhetoric that I was told my whole life, the land of the free, we need to fight for our freedom, and it's such a value in the American society. And when you think about how many countries are just as free, where does this freedom value come from? I mean, it came back from the Revolutionary War, but hello, there's a lot of countries that are free. It was eye-opening.
So I'm an American who's currently living in Canada, and in 2019, I was working on a film set, and we were breaking for lunch, and I promise this isn't a joke setup, but it was an American, a Canadian, a New Zealander, and an Australian were all waiting and having lunch together. And a truck backfires. Thinking it was a gunshot, I immediately hop underneath the table and am looking around before I realize what it was. And as I slowly get up, everybody's like, what? Why is she? And the Australian goes,
"You're American."
"You're an American. That's right."
That's so sad.
Yeah.
That's what they do though. Like, that's basically what it is. Like, when you sitting with everybody and they kind of have an idea of your country and how things are, what you do kind of identifies where you from.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? Because a lot of times it's what they show on TV.
Yeah, something as simple as a truck.
Yeah.
The trauma.
But had she been in America, she'd heard that, it would have looked right.
Right.
It would have looked like the right thing to do. We all would have been looking around, trying to see what's finna go down.
Yeah.
So, you know what, that was too close for reality. Let's just get ourselves and get out.
Yeah, trauma.
Just been that, you know.
I lived in the Netherlands, and I was learning Dutch. So when I watched the news with the Dutch subtitles, my host mom would explain to me what was going on. And I saw this priest, and apparently he had been stabbed. And I'm like,
snap.
Oh, why is he on the news? He's been stabbed, but he's still alive. And she was talking about, like, you know, how it was a big thing because priests don't typically get stabbed, blah, blah, blah. But I'm still wondering, like, what's the big deal? And then she's like, well, Sarah, you're from America, you have guns. And I'm like, well, yeah, we have guns. And she's like, well, over here we don't have guns. So this is big news because this guy was stabbed. And I'm still sitting there like he's still alive. And that's when I realized we're a bit up. Because I was questioning why a priest being stabbed was news.
If he was dead, how would it be on the news?
I wasn't drunk at the time, but good point.
Okay, so I came up to Ontario a few years ago for school after already getting my bachelor's in the States. And me and my office mate were sitting there going through our bills because they had just come out and our research fellowships are being applied. And I was like, oh, look, like, wow, this is, like, really cheap. And she looks at me and she's like, what are you talking about? Especially yours. Yours is, like, several grand more than mine just because you're international. I was so used to paying so much for university in the States that I thought Canadian tuition was cheap. When really it's not. Wow. So, yeah. Thanks, America.
Okay, so I've got this one. So I went to South India in 2013 for a school trip, and we all ate at a restaurant, and most of us got food poisoning and ended up getting really, really sick. Couldn't keep anything down. Vomiting, diarrhea, the whole work. There were two of us, me and another kid, that were really not doing hot. We were getting really dehydrated, and so they ended up sending us to a hospital. We took a tuk-tuk and went to the emergency room. I ended up getting 2 IV bags and spending a few hours there. And at the end, when they told me how much it was going to be when I left, they told me $9. Being an American, I was like, hold up.
That's it?
Did he mean 900, 9,000, right? No, $9. $9 for medication, IV, emergency, everything.
Hold on, because that's how it be. Hold on, we finna go into this hospital. Let me make sure I got my insurance. Let me get my ID. Let me get everything together. And then when you leaving, you think you got to hit them with the insurance card so you can, get straight and be like, you going to pay cash or credit? I ain't about to pay no $500 bill. Then they hit you with $9. Yo, that's crazy. I would feel some type of way.
How you feel, babe?
Freedom.
Freedom. Oh, that's real freedom.
Yo, because you're not expecting a bill to be that low, and then to live on your name for so many years. Like, people are really living with childhood bills that they still haven't paid yet because, well, I can't say childhood because you have childhood. Would be childhood? What about insurance? What about all the coverage?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But at some age,
if they didn't qualify for Medicaid under their parents' income.
Correct. Yeah. Yep. So basically, since childhood, people still got bills underneath their names, and yeah, that stuff grows with you, man.
Especially if they have an illness.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That is fact.
Yeah.
That is facts.
This trauma. This is really trauma. I think this is one of the videos where I saw a lot of trauma. you know, so.
I like it though. It gives eye-opening perspectives of what's going on around the world. A lot of people don't know this information. Like, seriously don't know this information.
Yeah, I like it as well.
Yeah.
We hope you guys enjoyed this video with us. Be sure to subscribe. We'll see you soon.
Peace.